Good morning, writers. So today we are going to be doing a really big step in our writing, and that is planning out our fairy tale. So the past couple days, I've asked for you to think about a couple things. I asked for you to think about what fairy tale you wanted to fracture. What fairy tale did you want to change? And then I asked for you to think about what part you were going to change. There was a little bit of confusion for some of us with this page, so I wanted to show you what exactly it is that we were doing with this and how we're going to move forward with it. So on this page, I asked for you to think about the fairy tale that you were going to fracture, which means choosing a famous fairy tale, a long time ago fairy tale that's been around forever and ever that you are going to change to make your own, just like all of these authors do that we have been reading lately. So I decided I'm going to change the story of the Three Little Pigs. What I'm going to change is the characters and the setting. And I'm going to use the story and the way the story goes to help me tell my story, right? I'm not choosing the Three Little Pigs and then writing a story about the Three Little Pigs. I'm changing it. So think about some of the stories that we've read. We recently read the book about the Super Pigs. It was based on the story of the Three Little Pigs, but the author changed some things. Think about Little Red Riding Hood with the scooter and the monster truck and the golf cart. The same idea of Little Red Riding Hood, but the characters were different. We had Little Red Gliding Hood. Characters were the same, right? The setting was somewhat the same, except it took place in winter, but the story itself was a little bit different. So a fractured fairy tale is a fairy tale that is written with a twist. There is something that you, as the author, are going to change in that fairy tale. I've been reading a couple to you from other students that I've had. I read Cinderella to you the other day, which was the story of Cinderella, except it took place in Ireland. I also read to you about the Three Little Hippos and the Big Bad Lion. So that was based on the story of the Three Little Pigs. Today, my daughter's going to share with you a fairy tale that she wrote when she was in third grade, and it is based on a Cinderella story. And I'm having her share hers with you so that you can see how we take a story like the Three Little Pigs or like Cinderella, and we change parts of it to make it our own fairy tale. Right? So this page that you're seeing right here, this was done earlier this week. If you did not do this page, you need to go back to, I believe it was Wednesday's lessons, and you need to find the link to this page. You can either print it for yourself or you can do it right on the Google Sheets that I have, just like I have here. This is so you know what fairy tale am I going to start with that I'm using as my big idea, and then what is it that I'm going to change with it. Some of us, I love all the work that you did. Some of you actually started writing your fairy tale here, and you already got a jump start, but we need to plan first. Planning is most important. So the second part of what we're going to do today is this page right here. So I have it set up in our the Google Sheets here where you can fill it in, or of course I'm going to link one that you can print if you have a printer. I am going to show you an example of a story that I am going to create to help you create yours. Now remember, your story needs to be different than mine. You can't use my same characters or my same setting. It's just an example. I want you to create one on your own. So I've been thinking about it. I've been thinking about exactly what kind of characters I'm going to have and what the setting's going to be. So in my story, I'm doing the Three Little Pigs as my fairy tale that I'm going to fracture. So I'm doing the Three Little Fish. Okay. And I'm going to do the Big Bad Shark. So my setting of the story is, of course, going to be different. And my setting in the story is in a far off ocean. Okay. And then here, I don't want to write my entire story. I'm not going to write my whole beginning, my whole middle, my whole end. I'm just going to write little quick details just so that I have a starting point, right? So in my beginning, I'm going to have Mama Fish sends her 3 little fish off to find homes of their own. Just like in the story when the mama pig sends the pigs off. Okay, so then I know this is where I'm starting. I'm going to start with this, and I'm going to go into how they each find a house for themselves, or they build a house for themselves. Right? Then in the middle, right, that's when I have the big bad shark tries to go after each of the 3 little fish. Okay, again, not writing my whole story here, just idea for where I want my story to go. Here's how it's going to begin. Here's what's going to happen in the middle. Okay, and at the end, the 3 little fish get away. And the big bad shark never goes after them again. So this is going to be something that is so important for you to do, because as we do each of our days of writing next, little typo there. As we do each of our parts of our story next week, we're going to keep coming back to this organizer, right? My problem in the story is this right here, right? My problem is that the big bad shark tries to go after the 3 little fish. So the problem is the 3 little fish are being chased by the shark. And the solution is going to be some way, somehow, the fish will get away. And the shark will never go after them again. Okay? Now, as you're doing your planning sheet, maybe you don't know what your beginning, middle, and end is going to be yet. Maybe you're going to start with your problem and your solution, and then that can help you fill in these. Also, the actual fairy tale can help you. Think about what happens in the fairy tale that you're going to fracture. If you're choosing the gingerbread man, think about what happens in the beginning there, right? But you are changing it to match the little twists that you're going to put in there, whether it's the characters you're changing, the setting you're changing, who's telling the story, or something else that you want to change about it. And as we write our fracture fairy tale, we're going to find other things that we might want to switch up or we might want to change. In the story that you're going to hear my daughter read, you're going to notice that the beginning and the middle are very similar to the story of Cinderella, but then towards the end, she changes some things. And the reason she changes them is because it needs to match with who her characters are and where the story is taking place. So for writing today, I need for you to fill out this organizer. If you print it, please have someone take a picture of it and send it to me. Or if you do it on here, I will see it. You don't need to share it with me. I see it right away because it's my document. And I am so excited to see where we are going to go with our fractured tales. So below this video is going to be the video of my daughter reading her book, which is based on Cinderella. Please make sure you take a look at that so you can see a great example of where our fractured tales are going to go throughout this writing process. All right, guys, can't wait to see what you come up with.